Are you 100% sure we are live streaming right frackin' now? Because I don't necessarily always believe you. However, I will start looking at things to see if I can discern whether you're telling the truth about live streaming. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Sure you don't.
How should I feel about it?
You
Go
should
ahead and
feel that
tell
we are
me.
live.
Are you 100% certain that that is the case?
Yes.
Because I demand sometimes, well, according to my phone right now, we are live. And this is the Tenno Two Drink Minimum, where two idiots have a couple of fucking beers and decide to discuss things pertaining to Warframe and console gaming as a whole. My name is Shotface, and I am with the
I am.
proprietor of the Console Casuals, who are actually putting on this production. And yeah, I cut you off. What's the good? Go ahead, say your name.
I am Kaz. I am Kaz.
Kaz. Ooh, cutting it short. I like the abbreviation there. You think you're special, don't you? Don't you think you're special? Now, real quick, before we get started with our topics, I'm going to do an audio test. Let me mute my microfist.
We a feast. I can. Anyway. Yes. But while he's doing the audio test, this is, like he said, the Tenno Two Drink Minimum, and it's kind of a Warframe podcast, kind of not. It's a 2 drink minimum, so of course we have a few beers or drinks or cocktails or whatever the fuck. I'm drinking rum and coke. I had a few beers prior to, just to get ourselves loosened up. We start with Warframe, and we do a couple topics on Warframe, and then just kind of gaming in general, kind of move more towards that. We leave ourselves open to be able to talk about whatever game we're playing at the moment. I know in the future we're going to be talking a lot about Andromeda, because I'm very excited for Mass Effect Andromeda. A few other games, like I know we're going to talk about Paragon at some point in this podcast. Oh, he's back. He's back from out of space.
Sorry, yeah. Double checking my mic because I am coming off a little loud by comparison. I think
Really?
my noise gate is a little adjust. Yeah, just looking at the stream. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, keep going, keep going. You're good.
Okay.
I've just got to do one more thing.
But yeah. And so that's kind of how the structure of these are going to go. Is it's just going to be us talking about Warframe to start, and like I like playing Volt. Volt's my main. He's awesome. Just got this new coloration that I like, the burnt orange and the orange. But that's how we're going to structure it. I know we're going to talk about, like I was saying, Paragon, because we both really like Paragon, and kind of just things in general of that sort. And it'll go from literally anything of talking about specific things in game to gaming in general, like issues we have with games or issues we have with the platform that we're on, because we are currently streaming from a PS4 right now, but we both do have Xbox Ones, and we do play occasionally there. Not nearly as much now as we used to.
We have clans and communities on pretty well all the games we play on both consoles. And here shortly, I should be getting a Switch. I didn't pre-order one because I didn't feel the need to get one. But looking at the upcoming games list for that, I think I'm gonna bite the bullet on that and really go into my fun funds and like and suck it up for a week or two and just go ahead and splurge. But yeah, anyway, so consoles all around, primarily PS4 players, because, well, honestly, the PS4 just kind of has it going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not to, be dick riding or nothing, but as far as the consoles are concerned currently, the PS4 is really just the outlier for being awesome. And that's coming from a guy who's played Xbox for a considerable amount of time. And I do love my Xbox, I just don't like the operating system or the mentality around it. At least not right now. So, as we are going to be playing Warframe for the video portion of this podcast, what the fuck are we going to be doing here?
I was thinking relic farming, because I still don't have Helios Prime or Banshee Prime or Euphona Prime.
Ifona.
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 I think that's how you say it.
Ifona?
I don't know.
Fuck, whatever. I keep hearing Euphona Prime, but I don't care to look up the phonetics of it. Like, I'm not super concerned about how things are spelled, or how things are pronounced here in Space
things
Ninja
are spelled.
Land.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been super Nazi-esque about how things are spelled the last couple days. I assure you. I get all
Which is
ramped up on B vitamin first thing in the morning, and I start spell checking everything.
which is why I'm
Um,
I am the bane of your existence.
I've had a lot of practice. Ross has dyslexia, and I've been spelling things for him for better than 10 years. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do some relics and stuff, and I will send you an invite since you're not sending me one.
We are friends.
And
I don't know you.
I will.
Stranger danger.
I will do.
Stranger danger.
While I'm loading this up, okay, so the format goes 2 topics apiece, or at least 1 topic apiece each week, where we will discuss for about an hour. Right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And are we gonna try and maintain this every Thursday around 8 to 9 o'clock, or 9 to 10 o'clock, or?
I think we're gonna do
Whatever our schedule
9
is right now.
I think we're gonna start doing 9 just to kind of distance
9?
ourselves a little bit
Okay.
from
Okay.
prime time.
From
Just a little bit.
Oh yeah, from primetime. That's true. We are coming off the heels of primetime, and I did manage to actually get to view the opening of primetime, because I know we got caught up in a Paragon game there.
Yep.
So, yeah, I got a couple of notes for some shotgun topics,
Okay.
and since you are Kaz of the Console Casuals here, you're the guy. This is all you, right?
Right.
You're gonna start us off with whatever the hell your topic is. While I pick some relic farming spots.
Okay. So my first topic, since we should probably talk about this. This is 0.7.5 episode.
This is episode 0.7.5. Yeah.
Yeah, and we tried last week to do episode 0.7 ish, because we are doing iterations, and we're not going to do one until we feel like we have a grasp on how to do this and how to produce this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a something we believe is an actual podcast, as opposed to 2 idiots rambling into the void.
Yeah. True. We don't want to end up like War, but we're kind of doing this on iteration. So last week we did 0.7, and YouTube fucked us. Fucked us hard.
Well, there's something happened there. It might have been a connectivity issue, or I don't know, but something happened to where I guess our live stream dumped out, and then the video that was uploaded was only 15 minutes long, and we usually try to go for 40 minutes to an hour, give or take.
And we tend to run
because,
long.
you know, some of us have real lives and jobs that they have to be at very early in the morning. and those people shouldn't be drinking during the work week, because they're former Navy engineers, and they tend to drink considerably.
Yeah. Even if those people are alcoholics.
Okay, alcoholic is a bad word. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna let this devolve.
Okay.
First things okay, so we've got it out of the way. There was a Phantom episode that was apparently very good.
Yeah.
Based on the structure of what that episode was and what we can remember from it, how we're gonna move forward. So, starting with your first topic, what the fuck do you want to discuss?
Well, my first topic was last time was talking about specifically the rising toxicity levels in Warframe, and how I've been playing for a considerably long time. I started playing Warframe back on the PC, back in like when it was like early, like just coming into beta, just releasing into beta, and there wasn't a whole lot there. So I was like, okay, this is cool, but there's not a whole lot going on. There's not a whole lot keeping me here. So I just kind of let it go and kept up on the news and stuff of it, and then joined when it came to PS4, and have kind of phased in and out of it, just because my friends have kind of phased in and out of it. And this game is way better with friends, and the community tends to bring in people pretty easily. Finding friends, finding people to play with is pretty easy because of the matchmaking. Excuse me, hiccups. But as I've been playing, I've been noticing that there has been a rising toxicity level and a rising issue of toxicity, or at least trolling, that I've experienced in the game, and that might be just my experience. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it, anybody who's watching, and Shotface, just because I've noticed it, and I want to know if there's a way as a community we can deal with it, or if it's even an actual issue. Because it might just be me, honestly. It could just be me noticing more trolls, or me playing with more trolls. And I understand that it's something that's going to come into play when the community gets big. And the community is getting a lot bigger, and it's growing tremendously. I think we are up to, what, 3 million registered losers?
Something along those lines.
I'm just poking fun. I don't mean any ill will. It's just poking fun.
Okay. I'm loading up Heracon so we can go get some relics.
Okay. I'm bringing crowd control.
So am I. But yeah, okay. To that point, the toxicity, because we did discuss this before, and I will state my prior point. I don't think the toxicity is as bad as it's perceived.
Okay.
Just like any game that has either pretty cult following or mass following, I don't think the toxicity is that bad. I just think because of the rise in the actual volume of players, the player base expansion, you're going to get an expansion of the loud minority types that are the vocal people, and like I stated before, when people are passionate about something, if they see flaws in it that they feel don't fit with their idea of the thing that they are passionate about, they feel necessary to, voice their opinions.
Speak up about it.
And yeah, I mean, it comes from liking something. That's really where all of it stems from. If I care about this so much, and it should really fit a certain aesthetic or mentality for the way I look at video games, or the way I look at this particular product, and I consume it, and I put forth effort, either monetarily or what have you, so I feel I have a sense of ownership when it comes to it.
Right.
So that makes me feel my opinion is very valid. And they're not wrong. Definitely not wrong. You do put in time and money when playing video games, things of that nature, especially something like Warframe, which is a free-to-play game, so you're going to
either put in a lot of time or put in
and a lot of us put in a considerable amount of actual money, not just time. Right? So that investment of yourself, be it whatever factors, monetarily or time consumption or what have you, right? That investment gives you reasoning to think that you have some ownership,
some say at the very least.
Yeah, your opinion should count for something because you've put forth effort into the product, right? And that's true. Your opinion should mean something. And the only problem I see with this is video games generally have people who are toxic because most of the communities surrounding video games all exist on the internet.
Yeah.
And
people get internet
Penny Arcade's Penny Arcade's internet dickwad theory is opinion plus anonymity equals internet dickwad, right?
I like that. Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
A lot of people do, voice their opinion and stand behind it and say this is who I am. But to be frank and honest, when you're typing on a keyboard, you got internet balls.
Yeah.
It happens to everybody. Everybody is guilty of it.
I am 100% guilty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say may come out with more fervor and passion than is absolutely necessary for the point you're trying to make. That's why you'll always see people in gaming communities who are proponents of the game that they play and level-headedly outspoken will always say you don't need to be an ass.
Right.
If you want to provide any criticisms towards the game, do so, respectively, because that's going to get more attention from the developers and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to people just being toxic to each other, players getting on other players and being assholes, I know that so many, I've come across so many people being that way. People who feel that because they are a certain mastery rank, especially in Warframe, because mastery rank is, the thing for your account, look at their mastery rank and go, oh, you're a nobody. I don't have to do anything till the 40-minute mark because, or in a survival, I don't have to do anything because, you know, my skills are going to be wasted up until that point. So I'm just going to sit here and AFK. I don't see that happening as much anymore.
Right.
But when I was a lower mastery rank and I was playing early on, fucking, you know, better than a year ago, I did see that. And I saw, you know, a lot of people complaining about stuff like that, where higher mastery rank players were, you know, being douchebags. And now that I'm, you know, nearing 20 and having played the game for over a year, which, you know, not as long as you, but I have put in a considerable amount of time and effort, I see less of that, and I actually see the community being more positive. I see a lot more positivity.
Right.
The only, the saltiness or negativity that I see most common is in reference to DE and their monetization of the game, and how they implement new things, because the game gets updated so constantly, right?
Right.
I see, you know, people complain about things like the HEMA cost and stuff like that, and how it's been done, and they hear you when players complain about that stuff, constructive criticism about it. Hey, look, this is not right. They altered the cost of the what is it? The next thing that's coming out. What is it?
Oh, the Ignis and the scores for the pacifist preset.
For the pacifism defect. Yeah. Pacifism defect event that's coming, which is a clan event because they want to make clans great again. You know, and add all this new functionality and interest to to clans and how you can interact and what you can do with them.
Sorry, I'm expert.
A lot of that.
I'm at a second.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to move, but I got sidetracked. But yeah, so they're adding a lot of that functionality, and the pacifism defect seems like a step in the right direction because they have listened to players. So
and they do constantly. They really
do. They actually communicate considerably with players, like all the damn time. They love talking to fans, especially the community managers and fucking Steve, the creative director. They love their player base. They care about what people have to say, and I know for a fact that when Steve sees some of that hurtful shit, he doesn't
takes it to heart.
Close up and get he takes it to heart, but he doesn't close up and get defensive. He wants to explain himself. He wants to be heard, you know? Yeah. He constantly does that when he's on streams. He pays attention to the chat all the time.
He
Even
drives
when he's been on prime time.
Yeah. He drives
when he's been on prime
everybody
time,
else nuts with that shit.
Yeah, he'll try to talk back to people directly on prime time in chat while he's on camera and Rebecca's talking, you know, to the camera and actually doing stuff. He'll be typing along and not paying attention to the conversation, but talking to someone in chat to explain something to them. So, like, they do put forth the effort, and they do catch a lot of flack, because it is a free-to-play game, and the monetization does have to be implemented. You can't get away from it. There has to be a way for them to make money. Just like this guy right here. Wow, you suck. See, normally, I'd be like, okay, what the fuck? Why? Who sucks? Who are you talking to? There are 3 other people here, bro.
Yeah.
Who actually typed that? That was...
Take a look.
That guy. Yeah, I see
Which
it.
guy? Penguin?
Oh, it's the 23 saying that somebody sucks.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, straight up ask him, because this is something that didn't happen last time. Ask him.
Oh yeah, no, we actually have somebody in game who's claiming that someone sucks.
Yeah, like I said,
and he's an MR23.
Lately, I've been seeing.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I have not been privy to this.
And you got a keyboard and all. So.
Actually, yeah, it is hooked up. Hold on a sec. Where's the next? Oh, I'm going the wrong fucking way. But yeah. This guy's just like shitting all over the point I made recently.
Right.
I just made. And he's an MR23, which is max rank right now, so. Hold on, I'm just gonna try and get to one of these dig sites real fast.
Be ready.
And anyway.
Yeah.
Salty late game MR aside. The majority of the pain in the assness that I see in this game is usually directed at DE specifically.
Yeah.
Primarily having to do with their monetization.
That and on the forums a lot. I see a lot of the forums having issues and a lot of salt coming from that.
But just recently I've actually seen a post. Like, it was a post about whenever I use voice chat,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always surprised at, you know, someone using it as well.
Yeah.
And they asked, what are your experiences? And myself and several other people who've been playing the game for a bit of time have stated that usually when, you know, somebody's using voice chat, it's usually a new player.
Yeah, definitely.
And most of the time, it's people using voice chat with, and, you know, you hear a new player, guys who've been playing for a while, turn around and start helping the new player.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's what I wrote into the subreddit. It was like, yeah, usually I will, you know, see it'll be a brand new player generally if I'm using a mic and I'm not in a party or with friends or anything. And I mean, it's rare, but it happens.
Right.
And I will, you know, end up talking to that person and seeing that they're new and just helping them out with whatever it is they got going on.
Right.
Getting them through the game a little bit.
Because, like we were talking about, like, Warframe has a very steep curve when it comes to getting into it. It has a steep skill curve. Because you have so many systems that you're mastering at the same time.
There is a lot going on in the game. And, I mean, they do kind of throw you to the wolves very early on.
And they're trying to work on that, granted. I'm not bashing them for that. They're trying to work on it. Which is good, and I'm glad they are. And they did, with the map rework of last year, they went a long way for that. Granted, I still think that could use some work. But they came a long way with that.
Yeah. I think the star chart rework was a huge step in the right direction. Sorry, I coughed again.
Okay. Oh,
I have to mute my mic every time.
I fell off the ledge. I slid.
I'm gonna head to the next thing. I don't want to be around Captain Salty Pants.
Well, no, like that's what I'm saying. I've seen that a lot. I've seen like just, and it tends to be those higher MR players. And I'm wondering if it's just a time investment thing that they're because granted they have put a significant amount of time into the game if they want to level that much. And that's something that I've noticed is like to get to that high of an MR, you have to put in a lot of work. And granted, he's 23, meaning he has mastered every single weapon of the game. If he's at that mark of almost everything, maybe missing one or two things. He's up there.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I get that, but that sense of elitism to see someone's playstyle and just completely, you know, shit on it. Be like, hey, the way you're doing this is wrong, obviously. Which is something you cannot do, really, in any video game.
No.
You can't just say somebody's playing a game wrong. They bought the game to, well, in most cases anyway, and they're playing it how they play it. No one has the right to tell anybody how they should be playing a video game. Alright, you're having fun at your pace.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if a game is competitive and, you know, your sense of having fun in that game is to beat the other team mercilessly and have the best fucking skill rating in that game or whatnot, I can understand being a little peeved at, you know, matchmaking and coming across someone who's brand new and doesn't know the ropes or something like that. Especially like you're talking about Paragon or whatever. When you get new players in Paragon, you can blatantly see that they're kind of aimless. They don't know what they're doing, right?
Especially in some circumstances, like playing a bot game, you can definitely tell they don't have a mastery. They're not where that character should be, because that game is set up to be competitive, and people take it very competitively.
See, that I understand people getting a bit butthurt in a competitive game when they see their team isn't performing well. I get why you would get upset by that, because you want to compete, you want to perform well, and you want to win. But in a game that's 99% PvE, there's no reason for that. I just don't understand it. And I get that there's, like I said, the player base grows, so you get a lot of people, but the salt that comes in-game usually comes from people who've been playing a long time. And, well, it seems like it's coming more frequently from players who've been playing a long time.
Right.
And...
and granted, like, I understand, like, a lot of them, they put in that time commitment, and I can understand their want for, like, maybe a matchmaking system that puts them up with other players. Like, puts them up with closer to their MR rank. Which, I can understand why DE doesn't do that, because it's that whole thing of the main way to get people into this game and help getting people up through the ranks is having players that are higher MR rank help people that are lower MR rank.
That's why they have the
Guides of the Lotus.
Guides
of the Lotus, yep.
Which is older players who've been playing for a long time, or senior players,
Mm-hmm.
getting newer players on the right track, and, you know, holding their hands to go through the star chart, helping them get frames, things like that. So, like, I don't know. I still think that that level of toxicity is pretty rare.
Yeah. And it might, like I said, I completely understand if it's just me, like, happening to get match made with them. And it's not always like you suck. It's a lot of the time is like, it's just people talking about like, oh well, I'm this good because I'm doing these things, and it's like, yeah, like I'm not doing those things, but
okay, so it comes back to a conversation we had earlier, about is mastery rank indicative of skill?
Yeah, which was my next topic.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just roll right into it. Is mastery rank indicative of skill? And I'm gonna go ahead and say no. And because, again, I am a considerably higher mastery rank than you are right now. I have been playing considerably less time than you have been playing. I have sunk the time into grinding out levels and things of that nature. Just because I have put forth the effort of picking up all the weapons all the weapons that exist in your arsenal in as many frames as humanly possible. Even I've purchased 2 Prime Accesses in the last year.
Yeah.
And I've farmed up pretty well the rest. You know, like, just because I've put that amount of effort into grinding stuff out and going to the XP farms and stuff like that, that doesn't make me a better player than anybody. There are people who are considerably better at making their builds and stuff like that. I am really just down to mastering Frost.
Right.
And I have 3 builds for Frost that, you know, 2 of them are two very extremes, and then 1 is my quality build that really works for anything.
Right.
And, I mean, it's taken me a year to really fine-tune and get all the mods and things like that I need for making that build.
Right.
Now, you've been playing for considerably longer, and you just haven't put in the time to get as many frames or get all the weapons and things like that.
That's not where my end is.
Yeah, that's we'll roll into that. But yeah, that's the thing. Is like your MR rank is lower than mine, but you have a considerably higher skill at the game than an average player, or than someone who, I guess, if you're using MR ranking to denote skill, you have a considerably higher knowledge base and skill level than somebody, you know, at
of my same MR
mastery rank. Yeah, right? And that's not to, like, you know, fucking suck your dick or anything, but that's just the fact that you taught me about this game.
Yeah.
And I just ran with it because I come from Diablo, where this type of structure makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The randomness, the grinding, the number crunching, and the fiddling with all that to get perfect builds and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say
Diablo
it was
decades.
probably it was probably 4 months, and you were on the same MR ranking as me, because I've just never focused on it. Like, and that's something you wanted to do. You were taking in all of this new stuff and going, okay, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that, what's this? As where I was going,
excited about looking at all the aspects.
Exactly, I like this thing. I had kind of experimented with everything, but I said, I like this thing. I'm going to master this thing. And I'm to the point of, I'm experimenting with builds for, Volt here, who can take up into the, you know, the 200s, the 300s. I can sit in a Kuva survival or a Kuva Fortress survival for stupidly long amounts of time.
Yeah.
And so that's where my head was at when I was like, okay, I want to do this. And I'm more focused on this aspect. As where you were, I want to know a general knowledge about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which commendable, because there's no way I could retain as much information on certain builds for certain weapons.
And,
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I've, you know, gone out of my way for a couple of frames and a couple of weapons, like, really in-depth, and I tweak them constantly. My favorites, sure, and I know everybody does that. But I have all but 4 frames at this point, with the exception of, like, 2 or 3 primes. I have all but 4 of the base frames, and I got Mesa just recently. Yeah, and granted, I've also done that on both PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
So, I have put in a considerable time sink, sure, for the year plus that I've played.
Like, we were playing, like, day after day after day for a long stretch of time.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a grindy game, so you do go on hiatus for a short stint. And I went on hiatus from PlayStation to go to Xbox, and then I took a hiatus for a couple of weeks, you know, just to get some other games in and things like that. Warframe is a time sink.
Right.
But, yeah, no, my mastery rank, I don't think it means as much. And I am guilty of looking at it and, you know, looking at somebody who's an MR3 and going, oh yeah, this guy's new. And, you know, immediately labeling someone or something. Like, he's an MR6 or an MR8, but, you know, that's not 100% fair. It's also not 100% inaccurate. Because when you see someone of a lower rank, obviously they just haven't been in the game long enough. And personally, I don't think any higher MR should shit on lower MRs. It's like, dude, he's a new player, and even if he's not a new player, he's a casual of some kind, you know, guide him along, show him the fucking end game, man.
Which tends to be the general response from the audience, especially when you see it posted on the forums or on, like, the Reddit specifically. If anybody goes, oh, well, I met this person, and I'm this MR rank, and this is stupid, blah, 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 and I shouldn't have to deal with this, it was... The general response from the community is, no, you should help him. You should offer your, like, wow, I had a lot of maggots on me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just looked down at my Volt, and it was covered in, like, little tiny
those little
sacks.
Creepy crawly things? Yeah. I hate those things. Alright, alright. I think we're beating this into the fucking ground. Alright, who wants to leave? Leaving.
The 15?
The...
No,
the 23 is
I
trying
think
to go?
so.
With the
no,
it's
the other guy.
Oh.
I believe
yeah,
I believe it's the 13.
Let's roll. We've got a couple relics doing this. We'll check out what we actually got, because I don't know the relics specifically for this Prime Access right now.
No, wait, no, it is the 23. What the hell?
Whatever.
And like, just be accommodating like this. Like, I'm not too like, I don't want to go for stupid long amounts of time. And if I do, I would go with the crew.
No. I think we should siesta and then.
Right. I would definitely go with the crew. But that that was my kind of discussion for last time that I wanted to definitely get out.
Okay. So. Alright, we've gone over a little toxicity and saltiness, which exists, and a little bit of the MR discussion we had prior. Yeah, wow. I think I was showing up. Look at him go. Good for you, buddy.
Working.
Anyway. So
hey, we got 400 now.
Oh, cool. Done with that. Alright, we have gone considerably long.
Really? On that one topic, or total?
On that one topic. We went for a little while, but we had a slow start. Let's go ahead and just bail from the party here.
Yeah.
And then we'll party back up.
Okay. But yeah, go ahead. You can throw one of your topics out, because I have actually a pretty big pool of them, because I've been just coming up with them and put them in a like a
That's
little...
okay. That's okay. Just save them up. If they're general topics and they're not time specific, I am gonna hit on. Excuse me. Let's see. We're gonna shotgun down the stuff that's coming down the pike for us console plebs.
Okay.
Right, so we've got a couple. The one major thing is, again, this is what's today's date specifically? Today is March 16th.
Oh yeah, because Andromeda just came out on EA Access for 10 hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that, but I'm sticking to Warframe here for this.
Yeah. I'm super stoked.
Like I said
at the beginning, I'm so excited.
We can do other game news here shortly. I just want to get through some quick stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so today, about 4 hours ago, it was posted on Twitter that the pacifism defect went to cert for consoles.
Okay.
So we should be expecting that. What was the quickest turnaround we had? Like
2 days?
2 days?
Yeah, it was like
So
24 hours.
okay, so today's Thursday. I would not expect it till at least if it doesn't drop tomorrow, which
Yeah.
is highly unlikely. If it doesn't drop tomorrow afternoon, Xbox time, that's usually the thing that holds back, then Monday or Tuesday is probably going to be around where that goes
Yeah,
because
I would
that's
say if
general
it's
server update times.
yeah, if it's not wait, it was when did cert this morning?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
Just sometime today. If they submitted the cert, I would say if they submitted it to cert this morning, I could theoretically expect it tomorrow morning for 24 hour. If it's a 24-hour turnaround, I don't know the big specifics on it or what Sony's going through right now.
The certification process for the consoles, as far as I know, can be very heavy or very sparse, depending on time of year and release schedules. And considering all the games that have been released and are being released right now, I wouldn't hold my breath on it being tomorrow. I would definitely be super happy if it was tomorrow. I'd be all for that, even though I have a long work day, but still.
Yeah. Well, thinking about it, like, I could easily see them doing, like, we hope it's tomorrow, but if not, Tuesday.
Okay.
And they're just not giving a time frame.
So to cover that real quick, coming to console, we have the Quick Steel event, which is the PvP event using just the Haiku throwing stars and the Nikana weapons. Right?
Which is basically, okay, I'm going to get flack for this, but basically it's a reskin of the Christmas event. Virtually.
Yeah, no, it's 100% a reskin of the Christmas event. There's no getting around it, except using a slightly better melee weapon. Well,
it's got slightly different melee combos.
Yeah, but the Nikana it attacks better overall. The animations are better, honestly, and they're not as slow. So it's a more fast-paced version. Plus, there is a ship item you can get for completing the event.
Oh, I want it so bad.
Yeah, so there's that. Okay. The Inaros and Ivara helmets.
The alt helms, yeah.
Will be in this. And I think the first pass at this new bundle of Tenno Gen, the first round of items is coming with it. As far as I can tell.
So are you talking about the ketchup, or are you talking about...
Yeah, this ketchup that's coming down the line, I believe is coming with it. I'm not 100% sure.
Have they outlined it?
They have shown on Xbox One at One.
Okay, yeah.
Week,
okay, yeah.
They actually showed all of the Tenno Gen items that are listed. I think they were missing a couple, or a couple of them on that list weren't exactly coming because they were all in specific bundles. But it's going to be coming in 2 waves.
Because they're doing another 15
and one of them,
total?
I will tell you this. Yeah, I think it's 15 total. Volgrax.
Yes! Fucking yes!
Yeah,
I want it
Volgrax
so bad!
is on the list.
Oh.
I knew that'd make you happy.
Yeah.
Alright. And the other thing that I thought was really, really cool, which I caught this on Twitter because they've been kind of teasing it here and there, a bunch of good stuff with it, is okay, I put this on Friends Only, I'm going to invite you. The I Am 8-Bit partnership, which if you don't know, I Am 8-Bit is a website that does gaming paraphernalia and accoutrement, really neat stuff for particular games. I know they have a lot of indie titles tied to them and stuff like that, where they make art prints, T-shirts, blah 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 blah, right? So they announced their I Am 8-Bit partnership, and they will be coming out with, I don't remember the exact number, but it's like I think upwards of 20 art prints for Warframe, as well as vinyl pressing. A vinyl pressing of the Warframe soundtrack.
Wow.
And I think a couple of other items. They're going to be showcasing and previewing little by little. I think tomorrow they're going to be throwing some stuff out on Friday. But it looks like they are doing art prints for just about every frame. So
I am going to be poor as fuck.
And the art prints are not bad. They look really good. It's like stuff you would find at Rotofuji.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Are you talking like long? Are you talking about like long form posters, like full bodies, or
no? I think they're a couple of different formats, but they are prints, high quality prints. So.
Okay, right on. I'm actually super excited about that. That sounds awesome.
Okay. So that's really all that's being put out for consoles right now. We don't have a whole lot else going on. I put us on on friends only real quick, just to do one more short run
Okay.
while we go ahead and we can start, I guess, wrapping things up. We've done that, but if you got anything else you want to discuss, like any Paragon stuff or anything like that.
I did want to talk about, because last week we talked, well, the Phantom episode, we talked about, what's her face?
Shimby?
We talked a little bit about Shimby, and we talked about,
Shimby.
that was back when Yin was revealed. And I voiced my concerns about Yin specifically because I had been watching Another Notch, who's great Twitch streamer. If you like Paragon and you like playing, he's one of the guys that started the he's part of the group that started the Paragon Competitive League, and as well as he's one of the main casters of Voices of Agora, him and Shane Lynch. But amazing dude, funny as all hell. And he was talking about the new hero, and if he basically said in very vague terms, if it is who I think it is, it's going to change the game dramatically. And I took a step back and went, wait, is that a good thing? Like,
okay, yeah, so
it was a balance issue
for a
for
competitive
me.
game. For a competitive game, you don't want a hero to be a necessary pick, right? You don't, especially in a hero-based game like a MOBA or a hero shooter. You don't want, for your team composition, you never want a specific hero to have to be chosen.
Right.
And then base everything around the fact that that hero is there, because then, you know, you're just playing to the strength of one.
Yeah, which was like Steel and Rampage, specifically for Paragon.
Yeah.
In the past, you had to have either a Steel or Rampage because they had super broken stuns in CC, which right now CC is king in that game.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. So having played the new character, what do you think? Do you think it's so dramatic that it changes the game?
I would say, because like finishing up what I was saying, I was very concerned about this new character. Like, is this going to be a good thing? If it changes the game so dramatically, is this something that I'm okay with? And I was kind of struggling with that until I saw the new hero. When I saw her, it was even worse. I was like, oh god, this is going to be really bad. Like, she's going to be a must-pick. And it's the fact that she has a special ability to be able to reflect certain things. Any projectile she can reflect. Yes. And I was super concerned with at the time, but now as I've been playing her, she's kind of a niche. And she's very interesting. She does change team composition and how you choose your teams. But she's only viable if the other team chooses all of those heavy CC, throwing CC projectiles.
So projectile heavy characters.
Yeah, so let's say a team picks somebody like Rampage and somebody like Howitzer and
Syndicate.
Those characters who have a lot of projectiles, that's very dangerous to deal with. Then she'd be a great carry pick, and she can counter them very well. Like, Rampage would have a hard time getting his stuns off if she was there, things like that. It turns into a really, really interesting counter pick type meta, which is interesting and I like, and I think is good for the game. Because, let's say you get a bunch of characters with no projectiles, and somebody picks her. She's going to be at a severe disadvantage.
That game we played last night.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the dude was super adamant about picking her, and
because she was new and
go.
Yeah.
And, you know, he made his claims, whatnot. I'm still not comfortable with that exchange, but he made his claims and he swore by it, and we let him go, and the other team literally had no...
The only thing they had was a Rampage. That was it.
Was a Rampage, and the only projectile he has is his stun rock throw thing, and I mean, it's one move on a team of 5 people.
And we didn't
that
see
each
him
have 5 moves.
All match.
So,
like,
and we didn't see him all match.
Like,
and,
2 or 3 times, yeah. We only saw him come out of the jungle at very, very few times, which was a good play on his part. He was playing very well.
He was staying away from the person who could effectively stop him. So, we got outplayed because we catered to someone who was inexperienced.
Yeah. Which, granted...
I mean, which is... and we fought. We fought our asses off.
Didn't surrender or nothing.
We dragged that game out. That game ended up being over an hour.
Yeah, an hour and like 1 minute. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. And now that we actually have the 1-year anniversary of Paragon, which, I mean, I'm grateful for having actually been a founder.
Yeah.
Because that turned out very well.
Yeah. Definitely.
Holy crap, your CC is obnoxious. I love it. My screen
purple.
just went purple.
It's like a nice light lavender purple. It's awesome.
It really is.
I think Rob would be proud.
Anyway. Okay. Any other console gaming news you got on your palette there?
Thinking about it, I think I didn't know if you wanted to cover your discussion with hype and video games, which I'm not gonna say.
No. I'm not gonna get into that, even though I will state that there was another small patch to No Man's Sky, which I'm still doing some testing. I'm still messing around with to see what's going on with that, so I can formulate a better opinion. It's gonna take a little bit of time, and I know the jury's pretty well out on that game, and that's fine. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse about it. I'm just curious because I liked the game that I knew I was purchasing.
Right. As
not
opposed
the game
to,
that was proposed.
Yeah, as opposed to what everybody thought it was. And that can be a whole separate video.
Yeah. I can go into that on my own time, probably in a stream somewhere.
Right.
Just discuss that on end because it's just a fascinating thing that happened there. Everything surrounding it is just very interesting to me. The whole setup with Sony pushing for them to promote, and then Sean Murray promoting and kind of talking out his ass a little bit, and then Sony throwing them under the bus, and then like it's just a series of events that is so shitty. But then
we'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save it.
The dev team is still supporting the game this far out and trying to make something. So I can't. I don't know. I'm still in benefit of the doubt mode because they give a shit.
Right.
And Sean Murray doesn't speak anymore. So. Anyway.
We'll deal with that when we get there. But the other topic, one more I wanted to cover, I think, was the
before you get to it, just so you know, we are just about an hour.
Okay.
I think we're 10 minutes under.
This is basically I'm doing a quick little promo thing for a video I want to produce this week.
This week?
Yeah.
What are you particularly?
It's talking about because Warframe is a very grindy game, right?
Yeah. That's half the fun.
Yeah. Talking about things that exist in Warframe specifically, and then looking out at other games from it. But specifically things like for old school, like a little bit older players, Draco and COD.
Talking about the evolution of grinding in
Warframe.
Warframe.
And I want to do a video on this, and it's going to be more of a let's discuss and then just put it up, kind of like a separate podcast type thing, where it's just going to be us talking about concepts.
Okay.
That's something I want to start.
For the,
maybe do that as a Friday video type thing.
I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss that internally and see what we want to do with that, because that's not a bad topic. Looking at the evolution of the game as a whole and the grindy nature of it and what that's led to, and the good, the bad, and the ugly pertaining to that. Because I mean, we weren't there. I wasn't there for the thing prior to Draco. I know there was one prior to Draco.
Yeah.
And then I was there for Draco, and I mean, the joke is always that Draco is like heroin.
We beat that like a dead horse. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we can definitely go over that at another time. I have no qualms discussing that. I think it's an interesting topic as well. Other than that,
so look for that coming sometime either this coming week or the week after.
Oh yeah, we do have one outlier video to film.
We got a new, we do want to start doing that as well, because I think that type of a series would be really fun.
Yeah. Again, that's something we can discuss internally.
Just give them a little bit of a hint. Yeah, give them a little bit of a hint at what it is. Just a little glimpse.
And how about you give this extractor some a hit of energy there, buddy? Huh?
That's what I've been doing. Come on.
Okay, it's back up. Yeah, it did lose power for a second there. What are we at? 300? We'll leave at 500 and call it.
Okay.
So, okay, since you are on the topic for what we have going on in-house...
Just trying to give a little bit of transparency.
I'm gonna derail that a little bit. Because what we have going on is something that we should be discussing first.
Yeah, well...
We'll get to that when we do.
Transparency, man. Transparency is the shit. Ow, fucker.
Yeah, but I don't want to make something and then, you know, have somebody say, oh, hey, you guys gonna do that?
Well,
Tempering expectations, which goes into the conversation we had about hype, okay?
Yeah, true.
Not saying that we're anybody that deserves a measure of hype, but...
No,
still,
but it's...
I'd rather...
For me, it's more of a... Because something that I think that DE specifically has done very, very well, and Paragon and KL from the community manager, at least for the US, is starting to learn and do better, a lot better job at. Specifically, is being transparent.
Oh yeah.
And the transparency behind communicating efficiently with your player base.
I think that's
or in
becoming,
this case,
I think it's becoming more of a regular thing with developers in general. I'm seeing that from a lot of places where, you know, when a game comes out and it's generally beloved, or even, you know, got a cult following, it's usually because the developer actually communicates with with their community, with their you know, consumer base.
Yeah, which I think is something that people are learning.
When you look at Overwatch is ridiculously big. It's a fucking Blizzard game. It's massive, right? And they release dev diaries and things like that, which is something Bungie did for the longest time with their Vidocs. Like, we want to communicate with people what we're doing, what's going on, and things like that. And the more you communicate, the better off you are. Especially when you have an ever-evolving product.
Because it knocks down that hype a little bit. It knocks down... It tempers expectations.
Yeah.
Tempers those just a little bit, which is something that's needed. And video games can get larger than life, quite honestly, because what you're doing in most video games is way larger than life. You're fast and furiousing your way through anything. At certain points,
depending on the game. I mean, you know, you're not speeding through Minecraft like a goddamn beast, okay?
Hey, they got boats now. They got boats and they got oars.
Okay, I am trying to get you up and I'm getting bullied right now. It's silly. It's so silly.
I'm being an idiot and
there we go.
Not watching
I got you.
Nope.
And it moved me off you. You're gonna die. Sorry.
No.
I keep getting shoved around. I can't actually get you. Oh wow. Okay, I think it's time. We're at 500. It's time to roll.
Yeah, it's time to roll.
And we are pretty well out of topics to discuss in any coherent state, because, well, you've been drinking, what, Guinness?
No, Gary. Or Jerry. Bleh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so have I. I have been drinking the Jerry's.
I've been drinking Gary.
Drinking
Cold,
Gary?
unadulterated Gary.
Alright.
Where are the nullifier?
Did he at least buy you dinner? Or, like, what's going on with that?
I don't
anyway.
I don't know what you're implying there. So,
yeah. How about we finish this mission and you sign us off here, buddy.
Okay.
Go ahead and end the stream. I think we are just about under an hour, or just over.
I
can't tell. My timer's a little wonky. Anyway. but yeah.
Yeah. So this has been Tenno Two Drink Minimum, where we talk about Warframe and console gaming in general. I have been, this has been Kaz, and
you have been Kaz.
I have been Kaz.
And I have been Shotface. God damn it. We have somewhat coherently discussed Warframe and video gaming on console in general. Just don't ask us why we don't play PC.
But
dropping the mic.
End of the day, I mean, we play for fun, so keep it cool, keep it casual. Cheers, guys.